Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session of Candlekeep Mysteries, where we have the most spoiled players on the planet. Um, last time on Candlekeep Mysteries, um, you all had re-entered into Kenobi being Chapter 1, having after flooding the entirety of the city of Tashaluda on accident, so it doesn't really count. You re-enter Chapter 1 before that ever happened, thus it never actually happened, so everything is okay, thus invalidating any potential transgressions that may have occurred. You return back over to Tashaluda, and after waiting until nighttime, and went up to Golem, who was in the process of waiting for um, for their owner, essentially, along with Pesh. While they were waiting there, you attempted to diplomatically to try and convince them to return to the desert with you. However, after being unsuccessful initially, Elocution used their newfound inner alchemy to be able to provide further sentience to Golem, thereby providing them a way of being able to better evaluate the proposition that you were offering. And after a fairly sad farewell to Pesh and Shamir, you, along with Elocution pretending to be a prophet from whoever knows where, you all teleported back over into the desert, and then teleported over there once again to Wreckage Point, which you expected to be desolate and full of sand. Instead, you found it vibrant and full of sand, with the entire area now covered in water.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm loading that. You moseyed your way down over to the bottom right, opening up the temple that is dedicated over to I forgot if you ever found out who this temple is dedicated to.
Umberly.
Cumberland.
Yes, you found out it was dedicated to Umberly, the colloquially called the evil witch of the sea. I might be enunciating one of those letters incorrectly. And you used the Ring of Memories to find that one of these Tinklali was using a decanter of endless water that they had gotten their hands on at some point to fill this gorge with water over 10 years ago, thus bringing us to where we are now.
Session start. Aqua, if I commune with nature to search for gems, does it ping off of the Azumar crystals on our persons?
Let me check. Yes.
Okay. I suppose it's not as easy as I can't. If it was here, I could be able to find it just like that, right? Whatever Azumar crystal is supposed to be here.
Hold on 1 second.
And here's the text for everyone else.
Yeah, I was just checking what this was.
Yeah, like I just so everyone can see.
That's a lot of text.
Eh, there are spells with more.
Well,
Is
what I mean to
submit
say
that
is
in
there's
one
none.
line?
Oh, does it not actually show it for you all?
Nope.
It does on my screen.
Does
Oh, you have to
okay.
click on it to expand it.
I have to click on it. Oh, so I do. It's not like Roll20 where it starts speaking in arcane runes when I click on something. Damn.
Give me a moment. Sorry, I'm sorting out the timeline in my head. Give me a second. You detect to see if there's any Ozimars here, and you do not detect the presence of an Ozimar crystal.
So the two conclusions, or three conclusions really. It's not here. If it's here, I can't detect it. I suppose this is part of the first one. Brax has it and is going to arrive with it at some point in the week. There's like there was like underground areas here the first time, right? Like caverns.
Correct. Yukishana actually, if I recall, explored around inside of the caverns.
Yeah, so like if it was in there somewhere, like my spell might not reach it there because it's limited to 300 feet in that kind of setting.
So what? 300 feet's quite a lot. Unless it was like buried deep inside of the ground for some reason.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with just taking that option off the table, like me just swimming down in there, keep casting that and detect magic while looking for it. Like I could do that if while the others do searching or talking things, depending on what they want to do.
All right. A little bit easier than climbing around the edges of cliffs. You dive down into the water and begin searching around, commune with nature, and detect magic. Okay. While they're busy swimming their best life, what are the rest of you up to? Or are you just going to wait?
We still do detect Shemsham here too, right?
I detected a powerful undead here, yeah. Might want to get boats set up, just in case.
So to say, yeah, I feel like that's what I would do because I remember Shemsham very clearly. So I would just prep things in case Shemsham shows up that we have a place to go to and fight it.
Where the book was, right?
Hmm.
The book, the Shimsham book? That's where it's summoned, right?
I don't remember, but I do. I mean more like just having precariously placed boats and such that.
Yeah, so I mean like where it's gonna
Yeah.
summon, we just put the books there.
Yeah, but I mean just like around in general, not necessarily just there, just in case it is different now.
Shimsham point 2.
It might try to avoid the water, given that it is basically a bunch of people that drowned.
That's also fair. Unclear.
Okay. So you wait a bit, and Jadira, you return with results, which is that there is no such Ozobar gems that you were able to locate. You did find some what would you call it? Sorry, I'm double checking. I'm fact checking myself about something. We like fact checking. You find some quartz. That's kind of cool. Quartz is kind of cool. It's
Just
not
to make sure
special
that
in any way.
quartz could
It's just like
be here.
like a handful of quartz.
That probably counts as Miram stuff. Even if it isn't anything special.
Oh, what is it?
It's just quartz, as in like the gem.
You just think it's neat.
Yeah, I like gems.
What's the potato gif?
Yeah.
Let me find it. Yeah, that's but with quartz.
Oh, I just realized there's actually not a lot of us here. Oh.
Yes, 4 peeps.
I mean, do we want to keep searching, or do we want to try to go find Brax, or wait for Brax, or anything else?
Might be
I
worth
was
having a look around, chatting with the locals, seeing what's different this time. Like why the Tinkalia are here when before they weren't allowed in.
I mean, given that when it was a Tenkali that flooded the place and made it a lot more verdant, they probably had a lot more goodwill.
I mean, so I got ganked by parents earlier. So did we find? Did you find where the Azimars were?
I have not found the crystal, no.
Well,
I assumed Brax came here and found it here, but it's possible he was carrying it on him when it was first detected by Valen, and we need to be hunting him down. But that's just a possibility. I don't actually know that for certain.
Well, yeah, I guess if you don't detect anything, we should look up, right?
I mean, if Therion was here with their bird, it would make it a lot easier to try to find Brax.
Do we want to go talk to the scorpion people?
I mean, that's up to you. Like, if you think that'll be useful.
maybe they
Alright.
might have
Yeah.
some
Or
interesting
fun.
things to trade.
Yeah, why not? I'm getting bored standing around here. I'm gonna go talk to some scorpion people.
Okay. You growl heads off, walking across the water over to the other side.
Yes. Not teleporting, just walking through the water.
You find that there are multiple Tinkali, but one of them is currently just outside standing there. Looks like they are currently just kind of wetting some of their front feet into the cool water against the heat of the desert.
Cool.
Is
Wait.
anyone over here, Aqua, like in the trash area?
No, there's nobody inside of the trash area over there.
Just making sure no one's gonna look at me weird for stacking up like precariously placed boats in case we need them.
You precariously set some boats all around the area where with just but a light nudge, you're pretty sure they would fall over.
Okay. I approach those guys.
You approach over to the Tin Clawley, who begins speaking to you inside of Tin Clawley.
Oh,
Do
crap,
you have
I
a way of
forgot.
being able to? Do you have a
Oh,
way
I
of being able to translate?
do. I do. My tongue.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
monks.
Almost a minute. Completely forgot about
Not only can you detect their heartbeat as you're approaching close to them, but you also just instinctually know through the language of all things. Language is irrelevant itself. Words. What are they? Words are fake. They don't actually exist. There was just a key. And you understand what they're saying as they're just saying, "Oh, hello. Welcome. Are you looking for something, or perhaps to trade?"
Welcome. Do you guys live here? Are you settling here?
Ah, then you are looking for a place to live. We have very reasonable renting prices.
Renting. Oh, wait. What other kind of residents live here? Like Kinku or Tabaxi people?
Oh, you would like to meet the neighbors before deciding whether or not to move in. I see.
Oh no. It's a bad universe, they're landlords. No, I'm just passing by, really. Actually, if you guys have settled here for a while, can you give me a tour? What's good around here? What's with all this, like, wreckage?
Oh, the very interesting history. Give me a moment. They kind of stretch out a little bit, right? Kind of move one of their arms, kind of, in a circular motion, kind of stretching it out a little. Okay, let me bring you around and show you what it looks like, and then you can consider whether or not you're interested in moving in.
Sure.
They kind of take you about to the area. They talk of this water here is not particularly shallow, so they can stand in it, and they see you standing on the water, and they're like, "Oh." They kind of look at your shoes. Is this magic magic thing to let you? They can't seem to find the exact word, but it translates perfectly through key. Magic component on sole of foot.
No, it's just my key. Just a very, very well-trained monk.
Key. Is that not a magic?
I guess some people could consider it magic. It's like the flow of life. You have some too, I can see it.
Oh, I see. They don't understand at all. Very interesting.
Okay, I'll make a monk out of you, buddy.
They show you about the wreckage here. Now, important is that although wreckage here is not good for property values, it cannot touch it. It's bad juju, considered not good. So you have to ignore that it is there.
Bad juju. Do you mean like lots of accidents happen?
Yes, precisely. You catch on quick when people move things. It's bad things happen to them. Sometimes they're very useful because sometimes people try to go here and they try to get in to our home here, but then the bad juju protects us from their interference.
I see. But do you think if all of this stuff was cleared up, or like maybe there's like a magical source, then we can get rid of the bad juju?
Perhaps, but maybe not in my realm of handling. We are working with do you know Tashluta, the big city? No, it's a couple weeks of travel by foot from here.
What kind of deal?
We are setting up a teleportation circle. Make back and forth faster. They think a place here is good for perhaps a new settlement in desert. Very lucrative. May have good neighbors soon, and maybe can do something about the big wreckage here.
See, but what about all this water? How long has this water been here?
Water here. Oof. I will have to ask my brother. Older than me. They know more, but I think here for many years, many years, before I got here, lots of plants. Some of these still kind of young, growing very considerably quick.
Huh.
But yes, it's getting soon. It will have more amenities. So you got excellent time to move in. Is what I'm trying to get across.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Even if maybe if you're not interested, and it's okay, then maybe you know somebody who is. Please
Yeah.
let them know that now is the time to get in, but the properties are available before
Of
it gets too
course.
popular.
Yeah, mortgage rates are so low right now. Perfect.
They kind of bring you over here.
Oh.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, if you can look for a moment, that over there, they are named. Their name is Crinkle, and Crinkle has what is called it's like you if your magic gift of being able to the water and walk on it. You have that gift. That's your gift. Crinkle. They have knowledge of future. A little bit kooky at times, but it's okay. We listen. The wisdom is very useful, very good. It's helped us many times.
Oh. And how would one have an audience with this group?
Oh, just you Crinkle. Little bit weird, but you can talk to them. And then when they are tired of you, they will chew you away with brew.
Cool.
If only we
Alright.
had our knitting character.
Yeah.
They a little bit funny sometimes. Do not always understand them, but they are nice and kind. And so we do not charge them.
I see. Very generous of you.
They bring you over to here. Big houses is where the big traders live. Over here, and they kind of bring you over. This is the more residential area, where they point over to all three of the main buildings here. Currently, several residents, though many vacancies available.
I don't
Residents
recognize
been
one of
living here
them.
for a couple of years now.
Do I recognize?
Do you like knitting?
Knitting? I'm not
Yeah,
really for me.
they kind of point up over at the treehouse over there.
Uh-huh.
You would find good company there if you did, but if you not, it's okay. You don't
Okay.
need to like it. My hands, they are not good at it. As they kind of show their fingers, which are very sharp, right? They have very sharp fingers that don't look like they could properly hold a needle very well. Maybe one day, if my fingers were more chubby like yours.
My sausage hands, yeah.
Roll initiative. Kill that guy.
Maybe if I was fat like you, I could knit.
Take it as a
Over
compliment.
here. Big ship on rock. Do not know how it got there, but think it's very funny. However, it is bad juju also, so do not go inside. But it's nice, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe what do you call it? It's a tourist attraction, landmark.
But bad juju, you say?
Do not break in. Well, not sure, not totally sure, but I do not want to risk.
It's like I was waiting because you were speaking, but Ray's already broken into this ship. Like while he's
Yeah, I was gonna say,
so-
cut to Eri.
Meanwhile, inside the ship.
Ooh, but before the ship, could you answer the question that with the goal in chat?
What was the?
Oh, yeah, that's the goal.
Jojira got a map before. I want to see if Golem like recognized any of the places on the map.
Right now, Golem is a little bit despondent still. They kind of look over at the map and then they kind of give you they kind of just right into the sand wait.
it's like, personally, as a character, as a player, I can't be bothered with Golem shit, but my character probably wouldn't be as mean-spirited, so... Well, I'm gonna take wait as go find mischief and then fly directly to the ship.
You enter into the ship. This ship is surprisingly well maintained, all things considered. It doesn't seem to be affected by the passage of time like all the other ships around the area and their ailing wood, which is creaking and breaking, covered in craft. Everything here seems fairly pristine comparatively. It's more obvious on the inside than on the outside, because the outside still has a little fine layer of sand on it occasionally, even though there's plants and stuff. But it's really well maintained. Not nary a blemish on the interior.
Is there any way to shrink the ship and then steal it?
I don't know.
Would divine intervention work for that? Is that within the remit?
It is within the power of divine intervention to make the ship tiny, I think so, yes.
Oh wait, but then I'd need to then have a way to untiny it. Shit.
I'm trying to think. That's being able to untiny at one time would be within the realm also, as long as it's not used offensively.
Okay. Cool.
Untinying it above people.
Yeah.
What's the magic item that when you throw it at someone it expands and...
Dareden's Instant Fortress.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, cool. Well,
Darren's instant boat. Drop boats on him.
and did you say this is the most pristine looking ship in this area?
Yeah, not just pristine, but unnaturally pristine.
Can we, do any of the locals know why it's pristine?
You'd have to go ask them.
I can't speak Tenkale. And I'm not Yukishana. Growl you up. Please translate.
You'd have to relay the message to me if you can.
Oh, well, good quality wood, I think. You think it's good quality wood, but again, a little too scared to get too close. Bad juju is, take very seriously. You have to take juju very seriously. It's not joke. It's not superstition. It's real. It's real.
Believe you. But, I mean, all the same, do you think we could take a look?
Oh, no. You shouldn't. No. You need to stay safe.
What?
You know that look you give people when you're being really condescending and you start nodding yeah. That's us right now. Could we get a detect magic aura on the boat? Dragon person.
Would you like to climb up toward the boat, Jajira, and or get onto it and or get into it?
I kind of just want to dive deep and then just rush upward through the surface of the water and splash down on top of the boat. It's like a dolphin jump out of the water.
The fuck?
All right. You splash and then arrive over onto the boat. And are you making your presence visible to the Tinkali here?
Not really. But I will go down into the below deck while I have detect magic up.
Okay. Even as you climb up the stone here and kind of get within range of the ship itself, you can tell that the wood on this ship appears to be enhanced with some sort of abjuration magic.
Abjuration is my specialty.
Is that like barriers and wards and things?
Yeah.
Yes. From what you can tell, looking at it, this whatever abjuration has been placed on this wood appears to be granting it enhanced longevity, durability, and perhaps some kind of elemental resistance. So it's kind of difficult to tell exactly. But this is no ordinary boat. This is in fact a boat that appears to have been enchanted with some kind of magic in order to keep it make it sturdier than just your ordinary boat, which would explain how it survived the test of time so long here.
If I examined it with detect magic and arcana expertise, could I determine like a general spell level for this?
For the kind of protection it might be incurring, maybe like protect by a layer of third or fourth level magic.
I mean, that's pretty high magic for this setting. So like, this is definitely noteworthy and deserves investigation.
I was gonna say, like, Grail, could you ask the Tinkali who's like is the oldest person here, so we can ask them about the boat?
Oh, yeah. You said earlier that there was someone who had lived here for many, many years and knows about the water and everything. Who could we speak to about that, about the boat, too?
Oh, that's my brother. Give me a moment. Let me get them over here. Please wait.
Mhm.
I will not be doing any such waiting as I do go below decks and look around.
All right. You go and investigate below, right? And you do see the cannons over there as well, which also appear to be enhanced with some kind of offensive magic as well. Taking a look further, you're trying to you're investigating around for anything else that's noteworthy, though you're having a difficult time with your skill set to be able to determine exactly how long things have been set here or how long this magic has like lasted, for example. But the cannons also appear to be in pristine condition and also seem to be enhanced with some kind of magic as well.
Oh, I love boats with cannons on them.
How many
Yeah.
cannons?
I want to find the captain's quarters. I want to see if I can find any logs, notes, journals.
There are approximately 8 cannons, 4 on each side.
Wow.
Nah, fuck the maroon ship. This is our new boat.
Entering over into the captain's area, the door is locked.
You know, there is a pretty easy solution for that. I call it draconic ferocity.
Universal lockpick, aka violence.
You strike the door, and it splinters, but holds firm against the hit.
Does it just seem durable? Like it didn't resist the lightning, I imagine.
No, it just seems like it is durable. It's quite durable. As for whether or not it resisted lightning, well, hey Crystal, how would you tell if wood resisted lightning?
What?
Oh my god.
In
That
that case,
about sums up that line of consideration.
I will not convert it to lightning. I will retain it as acid damage.
It's like, can you
You
not
will.
destroy the captain's quarters door on our new ship, please? You best fix this
The-
afterwards.
The door splinters yet again. It's on the verge of cracking and breaking apart. Though it seems that the. Hey, Crystal, how do you determine if wood is resistant to acid?
Probably
That about
stick it in
sums
the
up
acid
that.
and see if anything happens.
All right, well, there you go. Yeah, you vaguely there, Ray. You kind of hear the sound of wood splintering from the outside.
Do we have access to elocution radio still?
Yes, presume. Oh, I don't you have telekinetic also, Jira?
I do have telepathic, yes. So I
Okay.
can serve as the backup radio, essentially.
I'm gonna like shout things telepathically, saying to not destroy my ship.
I can basically put you on mute, I'm pretty sure.
So what's going on?
I'm breaking and entering.
We're at Wreckage
Are
Point.
we still at the temple place?
We are still at the verdant wreckage point. We couldn't find any pinging of the Azumar crystal that's supposed to be here. So, but this boat was not here before, and it's unusual. It's inherently magical. It's been enchanted, so I'm breaking into it, trying to learn more.
Yeah, they found a locked door, so they're breaking it open.
Where's the
Okay.
party?
Everywhere.
Oh, okay.
You as well, Sin. You hear the sound of the door being broken into, like lightly on the outside. There's some door that is being smacked apart.
I did do a third attack roll, if you didn't see.
All right. You slash once more at the locked door as finally the door is now unlocked utterly. Splinters of magical wood now litter the ground. And then you cease the magic that was on them ceases to be.
Alright. Is there anything noteworthy I can see from the doorway?
Looking inside, it definitely looks like a captain's office, right, with furnishings. But unlike the wood of the area around here, the furnishings have gotten kind of moldy and disgusting. On the desk itself, there do appear to be multiple parchments. And after a quick little investigation on the interior, you find that there is a locked chest inside.
How readable are these parchments?
They appear to be looking them over. The language on these, this script it's difficult to make out the words because they're so faded. If you could somehow be able to make it easier to be able to see what they said, but right now they're really faded. It is kind of difficult to discern what they're saying. You can only make out a word here or there, and it's not it's inside of let me see what language this would be in. Give me a second.
Come on, Goblin. Time to use that language.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm also going to lean over to Growl and ask what the hell Jajir is doing. Because I can't imagine that breaking into this magical door is quiet.
It wasn't.
He's breaking our ship, that's what he's doing.
He's stealing my fun.
Wait, how many languages do you know, Ray?
Like 4?
Oh. Do we just happen to share, like, most of the same languages?
I think so, yeah.
Because you know Goblin and Sylvan, right?
No, I know Draconic, Druidic, Elvish, Goblin.
Oh, it's Elvish. I thought you knew Sylvan. I thought you knew what I knew, plus a few more.
I know.
Speaking of, actually, this is you can't read this scripture, Jerry. You don't know what language this is.
Do I recognize the script it's written in, even if I don't know the language?
Let me check.
And here I thought
with history proficiency, I could say so. You vaguely recognize these as Elvish characters.
I guess I can show them to Diesel later.
Well, right,
Wow.
but yeah.
Wait,
You don't know Elvish?
Yeah,
I know Sylvan, not Elvish.
But you're an Eladrin.
Yeah, which means this is why I know Sylvan,
I see.
right?
I could have sworn they got Elvish on account of being elves, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Either way.
I thought they were more Fey, so they knew Sylvan.
I'm checking.
It could also just depend on their what manual it comes from, or what book it comes from.
It's just common in one language of your choice.
Oh. Yeah, like this one says common and Elvish. This one says common in one language. But the enemies, like the stat blocks for a legend, they know common, Elvish, and Sylvan. So I don't know.
Maybe they study it in school.
Yeah.
Okay, you said there was a locked chest, right?
There is a locked chest, yes.
Is it time for the universal lockpick?
I
We
was
haven't used
thinking
it.
of just picking it up, carrying it, and along with all of the documents. I can get bigger to have more carrying size if that's a concern. Carrying capacity.
How deep is this water, by the way, Aqua? Like near the boat?
Oh right,
Near
that
the
is.
boat, that water is actually kind of deep.
Okay.
There's
I
an
just-
entire cavern underneath. So
I dolphin dived up through that water, so yeah, I had to get like basically a diving start.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I should get these wet. So I guess I will just leave everything where it is for now and just inform Diesel and only Diesel of everything that's gone on.
Holy Diesel. Excuse me.
Aqua, is this map to scale? Because this is actually like 40 feet away.
yes.
Okay. Over under me being able to jump from the roof of this building over here with the ring of muscle.
Sorry, what was your question and/or statement?
What's the over under me being able to jump from the roof of the temple onto like these rocks over here with the ring of muscle?
Doable with the ring of muscle. It's doable.
Okay, yeah, I would like to do that because that sounds really funny, and also terrifying because I'm quite large. Oh,
Whoops.
I'm off the map.
Quite the jump.
Oh yeah, okay. I literally like went off the map. Just for clarity, this building seems fine to support me just getting on top of it, right? It's not like an old
It's fairly
decrepit.
sturdy. It's made out of stone.
Okay,
The
just
temples
making
to the
sure.
gods aren't really known for being ramshackle.
Yeah, but what if everything else here is kind of falling apart? I don't know. Maybe it's got like it's actually just a wooden interior and it's all rotted. I don't know. Anyway. Does anyone want to come with me? I can probably carry you.
Absolutely.
Well, you can just walk. You can just teleport, but yeah.
But Diesel.
I can literally, not
This
only can Ground
feels
teleport in, Ground can literally walk up walls. So
this feels like it's you just using me for fun. But all right, sure.
oh, Sin's on for the ride.
What the hell? Who is this?
I want to be carried for once.
Remember
who
how
is this?
nameless is sometimes not nameless?
No, I don't actually remember that.
Or limestone.
But yeah, are you still on the boat, Roger?
Yeah, I'm still in the captain's quarters.
See. In my defense, Crystal, your character is really confusing and bizarre, so cut me some slack.
I mean, there are two different characters, and which one they are, it's just swapped on each day by a coin flip.
Well, yes, I understand that, but the actual lore behind it has not been exactly clear, and you've gone to the professor half a dozen times now. So
I mean,
I
their
have not been following all
souls
the updates.
their souls are stuck together for some reason, and they can't unstick.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me who this person is.
And then one of
It
them
doesn't,
became
no.
a centaur for some reason.
Yes.
Although, to be fair, we actually haven't spent much time with Sin at all.
Yeah. Is there anything else interesting on this boat, Aqua?
Besides the locked chest that's there,
Yeah. This.
you squeeze your way in, right? Through the
Yeah, if
stairwell.
necessary, I can make myself smaller too.
You have a knack for survival. This boat has been here for a few hundred years. It's been a while. Like, just looking at the amount of dust, you're like, I know my dust. I know what it looks like to live in trash, and squalor. This boat has been here for quite an amount of time, and you pick up the parchment that Jajira has, and indeed, it is in Elvish and not Sylvan, so it's not exactly, there's a few similarities, but nothing, nothing too notable.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
could
can
go
tell
to
exactly
Ray.
what kind of damage this parchment has received, though, and it appears to have been submerged in water for an extended period of time.
I will at least relay that to Ray, since I feel like we at least know that Ray knows Elvish, right?
Yeah.
Then
But what are you relaying to me? Sorry,
Uh,
I was doing something.
that this you need to read this parchment because I do not understand this language. But Aqua, also, considering Jojir and I both have water vehicle expertise, can we take this boat and sail it in somehow? If we got it in the water, would it be seaworthy?
Yes, this still would be a seaworthy vessel if it were in water.
Shit.
I'm not sure how useful it would be trying to go through the desert.
What if we brought it into the maroon ship? I'm just saying.
I'm not sure we could bring it out of the book.
That's what you think. We brought other magic items out of the boat, or out of the.
I guess it is technically a magical item. Or, I mean, parts of it have been enchanted. You get things iffy on what counts as a magic item when they're big
What
and
if
made of multiple things.
But what if we bring it into the maroon ship, and you know how we enchanted the boat that we built in the Hag Cavern? What if we bring this in, and then it changes the story such that was the boat that we built then? You know what I mean? And then we can have it in chapter 1.
I mean, we
fight the
already
Kraken with
had
it.
a different boat in chapter 1. I think if we brought it in, it would get used elsewhere. Probably against us.
I don't know. What if we paint it red first? I still know Painter's tools, just saying.
I mean, I'm just saying that we do need to. The change of narrative was beneficial to us this time, probably, but it can just so easily be used against us depending on how the book's narrative uses the things we bring in.
Yeah, I mean, there's also no guarantee that the books are interlinked like that. But anyway, what does it say, Ray? This scroll of wisdom.
I demand an apology first for my ship being broken.
Jajira? He doesn't want to apologize.
You know what? I'ma just read it myself. DM, what does it say?
It is waterlogged and sort of difficult to make out the faded text. You would need some way of enhancing the legibility of it before you can read it more specifically. You're pretty sure, from what you can make out, the few words you can, looking at sort of up and down. Let me check out if you have a certain proficiency. Give me a second. Lovely. Okay. Yep. You're looking at this. Yep. Those are words for numbers. Those are numbers on there. Yep, definitely numbers. And squint. Are those? Okay, that's the symbol for gold pieces. All right, so numbers, gold pieces. What else? You see, you're looking up and down, scouring around for literally any kind of word that is legible enough to be able to sort of read in its entirety. You're pretty sure that one of those words does say the word like vaguely Umberly on it, but it's it seems so. Yes.
Do y'all not have spells that can help you with this?
I mean, I was going to say before I got interrupted, I have the Ring of Memory. It should have recharged by the time I've gotten back up through the water. But I don't know if 10 years back would be enough to when this was hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
That, and also, as a sailor, like, does this look like any kind of document I would have seen on a ship before?
Based on what Ray is telling you, this may be some kind of shipping log.
Things that were on the ship.
Aqua, I also want to search the ship. I have cartographer tools proficiency, as well as the tools themselves, and I want to look around for anything map or map adjacent, map related accessories, etc.
You look around and look for anything that seems sort of mappy. There appears to be some loose papers that have disintegrated eventually over time. And as you're picking up some of them, right, you can vaguely look at the color of the parchment, and it sort of reminds you of how one would fill in water on a map. But it's like in tatters, basically incomprehensible,
I'm gonna
unless you
note.
decide to origami it back together, I guess.
I'm gonna note that maps from like 300 years ago probably aren't that useful in the present day.
I mean, useful and good for information are two different things. If things that are injected into this story many years prior are important, then it's entirely possible that something from hundreds of years ago could be just as relevant because the story could change to make it relevant. You know?
I mean, the story only changes when we add things into it or actively change things as
How
a
do you
result
know
of our
that?
actions, I'm pretty
How do you
sure.
know that?
I mean, that's how narratives work. Or at least that's how it's been
Yeah, but it's like,
implied to
so
work by Miram, too.
maybe us messing with this boat will make it relevant. And so knowing the situation when it was currently a relevant object, maybe. I still think it could have value. I'm not saying it is, but it definitely could have value. So I still am just trying to get information about what the contemporary status of the world was when the boat was not stuck on some rocks.
I mean, I actually can't deny your theory just because A's exists, and that just proves that the things aren't set purely. We just don't have the other narrators to talk to, I guess. Talk to directly, I mean.
Yeah, fucked up. Why can't A's narrate everything?
Ugh. I want to punch that guy.
Whoa, he's cool. You're only mad because he stopped time to put us in the forest so we could have a discussion with you about your rude behavior.
I'm going to note that was out of character because I genuinely, as the player, I can't stand A's.
You have the various tatters right there, yes, and also the locked chest that's there as well.
Yeah, I mean, are we breaking open this chest or what?
And I assumed that that was going to be Diesel's course of action with the universal lockpick.
Yeah, I mean, certainly interested in doing that.
Have any, like, bad luck things occurred like last time?
I
Wait,
can
what?
commune with nature real quick to check for undead presence near us.
There is the presence of a powerful undead, but I don't think it touched their location, does it? Merely that they are there.
Let me bring the spell's description up again.
Since as BRB. BRB.
I mean, the example says you could determine the location of powerful undead in the area.
There is currently a powerful undead to the northern junkyard. It doesn't appear to be near you.
I will inform them of that. So it does not, for Chimsheim does not appear to be connected with this boat. At least, not currently, I guess.
Sam, bust that shit open then.
Are you
yeah.
using Ye Old Universal Lockpick Diesel?
Oh, I thought you said you were gonna be right back. I was waiting for you to get back. But yeah.
Give me a second.
Jojiro respects the hell out of that strength.
Listen.
You're like, yeah, we need this lock open. He walks up and just punches it. just shatters.
I mean, the ability to shape the world around himself with his own claws is definitely something he's been wanting for a while. And that's just physical power, isn't it?
True. Okay. Cracking open the cold one here. Here's what you find. Give me a second. I don't know why I described it as cracking open a cold one. That's kind of a weird way of describing opening a chest, but whatever.
Thank God.
The first thing
for
you
cold.
find is gold, but perhaps not as much as one would have liked. It's only about approximately 1,000 gold pieces for each person. You also find various minor, like just 2 or 3 trinket magic items, which at this point basically just means that you have enough money that they don't actually matter. They're essentially part of the gold value. But there are 2 items that stand out to your attention when you take a look. The first is that you find this bracelet of rock magic, and nestled within is also an eldritch staff.
Oh yeah, Aqua. I
That's
just
it.
wanted to make sure. When Jojira broke the door, you said like all the traces of magic on it stopped instantly.
Correct.
Okay,
It was
I just
just
wanted
the
to make sure.
door, not the boat around it, right?
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
All right, and there you go. Can you see them actually?
Yes.
Yeah, you sent them.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Neither is very appealing. I mean, I'd be content just leaving everything there.
The chest is closed.
Let me take another look at them. I don't think either of them are Diesel's alley either, but are we supposed to see the curse, Aqua?
Yes.
Okay.
The bracelet of rock magic isn't exactly like an unknown magic item. Basically, it's something that exists.
Right.
Curse and all.
Yeah, like I won't be taking the share of gold either. I'm pretty certain I agreed to that to Miram. I'll have to go back to that and check, honestly.
From what I recall, from the notes I have, it only says, blah 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 blah. Get agreement to keep their hoard items and some future items as payment for killing Quill. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and there's mention of like us or like some of us giving the items back at the end, but I don't think we gave any. I don't recall specifically saying we couldn't take any more, because I think, well, you know, we need items to to help to defeat Quill, especially like the presumed artifacts at the end of each book.
Maybe it's just a personal thing then. He's like, I've already given back most of the items I've taken. Call it a dragon thing. He's like, I didn't know I was stealing from a dragon when I was doing that.
Man, this dragon shit easy. You just go lie, tell people this is your horde, and they're like, oh. I could easily just scam every dragon. Wait, I'm not playing Kion.
I mean, I feel like you might have difficulty lying to a dragon. Maybe not Kion. I think they might be fine.
Yeah, I think Kion would be fine. But at least well, maybe not even a dragonborn, you know? Or what if I just like find some kobolds? Easy.
I mean, kobolds are easy. Interpret that as you will.
It's like the personal quest of my next thief is just scam larger and larger lizard to dragon-sized creatures until you finally scam like an ancient red dragon.
Nice.
This is basically what I feel like there are people in real life that have done something equivalent to that. So we work along some of them too.
What was the proficiency needed for that parchment? Just because a lot of these stones have given me proficiencies which it hasn't added in.
History would certainly help.
Shit.
History's pretty useful in Canopic Being, unsurprisingly, I suppose, when you're dealing with ancient.
Oh wait, no,
ancient things.
History is here. Historical knowledge is history.
I mean, we basically are doing archaeology in some regard, right? Makes sense that history and investigation and survival and perception are all going to be important.
Yeah, basically.
So I do have history. What
Okay.
now?
So Eri, the individual, does not really recognize what these are. Eri, the historical buff, has a little bit more of an understanding of like relating the meaning of some of these. Diesel's speculation that this is a shipping log seems to be fairly accurate. And looking into it further, and now being able to read the text with their ion stone whispering into your ear with the secret knowledges of history. Yeah, that's such a funny mental image. You can see that the shipping appeared to have been on a regular basis, like pretty consistent with this boat. And then at some point on some date, a few hundred years ago, it just suddenly ceased. Just utterly, completely stopped.
Also, for the record, that was Jojira, not me. But currently, the Venn diagram of our knowledge base is a circle, so it's probably fine.
Yeah, that's true. What they said, what Jojira said, what you now said. That's what you learned, right? It's that the a few hundred years ago, the shipment log just suddenly stopped being updated, and there's still room for more entries. It just suddenly isn't anymore.
Is there anything else that kind of aligns with that date? Like that's one of, for instance, I was like looking for maps and stuff. You know, is there anything that would align with that time scale, that time period?
Let's see if a Diesel was able to piece together what you have survival but not history, so I'm not sure about that.
I have history.
Oh,
I
you
didn't
do?
see it
Oh,
on
sorry,
your
it's not ticked on your sheet, that's why.
Wait, is it not? Let me double check.
It's not.
I thought I picked up history when I got skill expert. Maybe not, but my bad then.
You do have nature though.
I can't see skill expert on your sheet.
Yeah, I mean I didn't add it as a Sure. I just
I mean,
added the expertise.
I mean that kind of thing is good for bookkeeping.
Yeah. I didn't think I would get so many proficiencies. I started with very few and thought I would end with very few. Whoops.
That's fair. I'm trying to see if that would be enough. No, I think that trying to piece together with that particular skill set is quite sufficient.
I've got history, nature, investigation. The one I'm lacking is survival.
No, there is somebody here who might actually. Sin, you have expertise in both nature and survival. Is that true?
I heard you say my name from across the room, but I wasn't actually in the conversation. What?
You have expertise in both nature and survival, correct?
Let's see. Survival, yeah. What's going on?
Sin, who has been listening in on this. Sin person, not Crystal the character. Crystal the character. Crystal the person, Sin the character. Oh my god, I mixed them up. Based on the shipping logs that were found in this boat, based on the status of like area around here, and based on what you had been informed about what happened last time here at Wreckage Point, make a survival check and a nature check.
Fine.
Oh, reliable talent. We like reliable talent. Sid thinks they have a pretty accurate timeline about what exactly transpired. Do they wish to share this information?
Sure.
Okay. As they're kind of mulling over the papers, right, and trying to figure out like what if anything lines up, Sin thinks they have basically completed a fairly accurate timeline of what may have transpired based on all the available evidence of the geography of everything around here. Based on all the way that the caverns are laid out, based on the way that the water here's what likely happened. A long time ago, there must have been a group of some kind who were loyal to Umberly, and here was probably a harbor or some area where they kept a lot of their basically their fleet. At some point, likely due to shenanigans, the entire area was sunk down into the water, likely by Umberly themselves, thus sinking all of the vessels here, and thus leading over to the situation where Shimshon currently exists. At some point, everything became a desert. At some point after that, the entire area became flooded due to the once again the efforts of the Tinkalli with their decanter of endless water, and that must have raised the ship up from underneath where it was hidden inside of the dirt.
How long do Tenkali live?
Tinkalli can live for a fair, like at least on the scale of tens of years, the same way that the humanoid were, at least 80
Okay.
years or so.
I'm just making
They're
sure it's
fairly
not like
long-lived creatures.
yeah, I'm just making sure it's not like, a few hundred years kind of thing.
Yeah. Thus, this would match up with why the shipping log suddenly ceased to be, why there's suddenly a whole bunch of wreckage all around here, and why this boat has appeared and why it has been in such pristine condition, as it were. The map with the parchment with water and the ocean laid onto it must indicate that this area at one point used to be part of the ocean, or at least a harbor area where the fleet used to be before it got sunk into the ocean.
So did that Ting Calio? So did that Ting Calio ever turn up? The knowledgeable one.
Yeah.
Is it ground a ship right now? There's nobody out there right now.
Well, I mean, I assumed I spoke to them before. I don't know.
As in, they went
So
to go
we
and
just
get their
left.
brother, and then y'all just kind of left them hanging. They just kind of.
Oh, they took so long to come.
They didn't take that long. You teleported into the ship.
Should have faster.
So we're all
Unlucky.
heading back up there.
I mean, I can still see them from where I am.
I mean, are they
need to.
there? I can go back, but I feel like they're just gonna yell at me.
Were there any people around us, or just these Kenku on the left?
No, they're the scorpion people.
Oh.
Whoop. Come back!
Um,
I need a
as
tour guide.
a naturalist and a survivalist, what do I know about the scorpion people?
The scorpion people, especially here in the. Well, hold on. I'm checking your proficiencies. Give me a second.
They like burying
We like
themselves.
Do they have blind sense? I'm assuming they do,
Yes.
or whatever. Okay.
Well, they have tremor sense, not blind sight. They have tremor sense.
Okay.
You know that the Tinklali, at least based on what you've seen, are very good survivalists. From one survivalist to another, real recognizing real, as it were. They know how to survive inside of some of the harshest conditions that imaginable. Everything that they do seems very calculated, and the very way that they interact with people seems to have a very strong focus on sort of exchanges, right? That's most of what you can glean. You can tell pretty quickly that they do indeed have tremor sense, as they, even just when watching them, you notice that they can kind of detect your presence before you even announce yourself per se.
Okay. Did we interact with them yet?
Yeah.
Growl did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What happened?
They stood us up.
They stood us up.
Or we stood them up. You
No,
know.
they tried to sell me property. That's
Oh,
all.
okay.
Oh my
But they were
god.
friendly, they didn't attack us, is what I'm trying to.
No, that's
Like,
fine.
they're
They're
not-
basically in this world. They've settled here. Yeah,
And-
and they are kind of got a deal with Tashluda.
And now they're
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to sell timeshare
More.
businesses.
Apparently, Tashluda is interested in setting up a teleportation circle here, so there's probably going to be people from Tashluda showing up at some point in the future. Unknown exactly when. We also still have no idea where the Azumar crystal might be that's supposed to be here.
Okay.
I mean,
have
my
you guys
assumption
checked
is
deeper
that it's
inside the
on
boat.
Brax. I mean, I would have sensed it, I believe, with either Detect Magic or Commune with Nature.
Correct. Commune of Nature would reveal within a 3-mile radius if there was an Ozamar crystal around here.
We still have red paint, right, from the other book?
Yep.
Correct.
Cool.
Magical red paint.
I would like to paint on the what's the front of a ship called? The bow?
The bow, yeah.
I'd like to paint on both sides of the bow. Ship property of Ray.
Why?
Because if we put this in another fucking book and it gets used against us, I want there to be fucking evidence on this ship that this is my ship.
Evidence that you stole the ship. Yes.
Yeah, what if there's a symbol that indicates ownership and also can be interpreted as conferring some magical power, you know? Like we put a shield on it and that made it stronger, right? So is there some kind of Ray ownership symbol that you can use that could also be interpreted as making it stronger?
Just paint some fairy wings on it.
Got it. Well, then I'll also add on a small self-portrait, like a paint like a paint drawing of myself under the word Ray.
You go on with the evil smiley face.
Yeah, the evil smiley face. That's right. Also unrelated, but if you're looking for Brax, don't you have the spell locate creature?
I do not have locate creature.
What?
When have
Brax
I
did
ever
kind
cast
of
that?
describe to us where he was from, right?
Yeah,
What
but
do
do
you
we
say?
want to fight a whole horde of them?
I mean, he described like his how to get to his village, I believe, but I
Yeah.
don't
He
think that
described, he
don't
described
think
how to
he-
get there from the point where we fought him.
the skull, but
Yeah, he was like, go
he
south
wouldn't
for
be
3
there
days and then turn left
very
at the
soon.
cactus or something.
I mean, cactuses are pretty rare, as we've established.
Yeah, it was like, yeah,
There's a
like
high
turn.
chance we find him at his own village.
Well, I mean, he hasn't ever been there as far as we've known him.
Yeah, we
Like,
don't
he's
know how to get
been-
there is the problem.
I mean, his whole thing has been that he's trying to find as many objects of power for the sake of being more powerful. Like, I believe it was implied that he's trying to basically become the leader. That he wants to be the biggest one, strongest one, the one in charge.
Oh my god, he's like the
Yeah,
plot.
but if like this wreckage point has seen that much change, it's possible that like his story might have changed as well.
I mean, that was only because
like-
of the decanter.
Like we didn't find him in Tashuda, and he's not here. So like there's not really like another place you can look for him.
I mean, he was only in Tashluda at the end of chapter 4 when he was arrested, and he
Oh, that
was
was chapter
here
4?
in-
I thought
yeah.
it was 1 shit.
and he was here at chapter 2. We're technically still in chapter 1. So theoretically speaking, perhaps he's still digging at the skull right now.
Yeah. But we don't really have a good way to get there, do we?
No.
I mean, regardless, this boat does seem fairly important, at least to me. Maybe it's just because I like boats. I don't know. So if we want to hunt after Brax, we should make sure at least that we've finished up what we're doing here. Wasn't Ray gonna like mini the boat or something?
I mean, it was just the boat of an Umberly cleric group, essentially, right?
Cleric, say no more.
Have we actually like
The
checked
witch
out the
came
Emberly
out
Temple?
with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's still nukes in there, if you remember.
the water
There's still
bottom.
what?
There's water nukes in there. Or a water nuke, I mean.
Oh.
We should definitely carry that on our ship.
Well, I guess if we flood the entire fucking desert, we could bring the ship along with us. It might make things a little hard to find the Azumar crystals, though.
I can see it now, like the big bad in that pyramid, or assumed pyramid, or temple, or whatever it is, just looking out upon the desert, and then they just see us sailing towards it with a flood of water going there.
I mean, they're
That's-
probably undead, like the Mummy Lord. So they don't need to breathe, so water flooding their pyramid would just be an inconvenience.
Wet bandages.
But they wouldn't expect it, though, is my point. In any case, yeah, sure, I would like to attempt
Oh.
divine intervention to make the boat small enough to fit in a bag of holding, and then also have the power to
You might want
unstring it.
to wait until some of the heavy people are no longer on it so we don't crush it when you make it small.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll get off the boat if that's the play.
I mean, you have your chance to move. You see Ray's like dial in heaven right now. She's doing that thing.
Then look
Um,
out.
I can just
no,
fly
they
up.
can't hear you.
It's okay. I'll just fly up.
They
Wait,
fly
you can
both
fly?
of them.
I actually didn't know
All
that.
right. I think that does that just barely not count by like 2?
I forget what the.
We're level 15,
It's
so
twice
it's
cleric
70.
level, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
shouldn't it
70.
be minus 32?
Okay, so 68. Sorry, I mathing really badly for a moment. No, that's the
yeah.
mid range then.
We're level 16, and I still am not able to level up for some reason.
You want to do what?
Shrink a large boat so we can. Put it
I
in the
heard
ocean.
you. I heard you. Ugh.
I'd like to put the sending stone to Holly's mouth and say, Holly, convince him.
Oh my god. Good.
This is a waste of my 10 armor. A light of the boat begins to glow brightly from underneath the water at first, and then you begin to see it shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink until it's like a model ship that can fit inside of your palm. You have acquired this boat.
As he's hanging up, Rhodos lights it, then quickly go, oh, and can you give it dragon wings? But she presumes that doesn't work.
Do.
Damn it! I should have added that first. So.
The boat is no longer there, and in exchange, you now just have it inside of your hand.
Knowing-
You intuitively know how to get it to expand back to a normal size as an action. Oh, it takes it'll take like a minute in order to return to its normal composition.
Am I also able to like re-shrink it afterwards, like after a period of time, or is it just like a one-use deal?
One you steal.
Damn, fucking heaven's skimping out on their power. What the fuck? Player says that, not Ray. Ray is quite happy with this result. Apart from the lack of dragon wings on the boat. Well, maybe I can ask for the dragon wings next time.
For their part, Golem looks like they were watching this, and they have kind of regained some of their composure by the looks of it. They don't look quite so sullen all the time right now. They do Golem does motion for the map.
Hand this golem the map.
As the map unfurls between their big, meaty stone fingers, they point somewhere at the map, but they're not pointing at a specific location. They are kind of points over to where it sort of says sandstorms be here. And they're kind of aggressively pointing at that.
Are they pointing at the area where the sandstorms are, or the sandstorm itself?
The sandstorm is never in one specific location. It's always moving around, and they seem to be just pointing right now at the where the sandstorm is. Like the sandstorms be here part, as they write down into the sand. I go.
I mean, if I asked that to them, like, how would they respond?
What was the question you're asking?
Are they referring to the area, like, there, or are they referring to the sandstorm itself?
With their big meaty stone finger, they write down into the sand itself.
Yeah.
The sandstorm, does that mean the sandstorm itself is an area?
They kind of draw down into the ground. Even their drawings seem like ancient and hieroglyphic-like.
the eye of the storm. I've been thinking for a while now that there's something like in the middle of the sandstorm, but
And we need to ride this boat to get there, right?
In the first time we went through chapter 1, the sandstorm went to the skull next, but we've established we don't have a way to get there quickly. But it was here at the end of chapter 2, right? Where we're headed here?
I got the impression
yes.
it like followed us.
I mean, that's a possibility.
So what's the plan?
Looking campaign. We're doing this soon. Wait, with the sand skiff and everything.
Is that supposed to be the purple worm?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, I guess, is there anything else we want to do while we're here in Wreckage Point? I mean, I guess it can't hurt to see like what the what the Tinkali have.
Yeah, that. Or if someone wants to speak to the orc, that would help something.
Yo, we should build a Dragonator on our boat.
Oh my god, yes.
Define Dragonator.
You know, from Monster Hunter, the giant
Yeah.
like
I
extendo
have not
drills.
touched anything of Monster Hunter.
Basically,
kills
they're
dragons.
giant extendo drills that just you pierce a dragon with it. Elder dragons usually.
I don't like this concept.
Well, elder dragons don't necessarily mean dragons in the usual sense. Like what I posted that picture in campaign, that's an elder dragon. You know,
Yeah, it kind of just
that
looks
GIF
like a
is an elder
big
dragon
harpoon
cutscene.
that spins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Like look at the front of the boat. In that picture, that's a Dragonator. We need one of those.
Jojo at this like
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't call it a Dragonator.
A Sandworminator.
Worminator.
Worminator. I mean, I don't know if this helps with awareness, but I have like 90 feet of tremor sense, I think.
Who do they?
I mean, it's theoretically possible to completely avoid them if we could all be airborne. I think they only see through tremor sense.
oh yeah.
Alright, so everyone gets a ring of spell storing. We all cast Find Steed. Find Greater Steed.
Uh-huh.
But I can just fly.
Who has the Find Greater Steed that would be casting it into the rings?
What? Ethereum,
Somebody-
I think?
Does he have 4th level?
Oh wait,
Greater
actually,
Steed?
I have it too. Wait, do I have it?
You do? On
Oh yeah.
Sim?
I have it too, yeah.
But then like what would Golem do?
Wait, how do you have it up on Sim?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna
Ritual casting.
destroy.
Oh.
Golem, we cast Levitate on 10 times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll ask Golem if he's like if he knows or like if he's been in the storm, do the worms like detect him?
They kind of like moved their head over to the side as if they don't know what you're talking about.
How does she get an answer and I don't?
What was your
Rajira's
question?
didn't come through.
I asked it
I
in the
didn't see
chat.
that. I just didn't see that. That's why I was tapped out. They write down into the sand in response to that, Jojira. Master.
How much do you guys think Gollum weighs?
I thought we calculated this earlier, and it's quite a lot.
Yes. Very, very, very heavy. Let me find the exact what it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like it's probably more than 10 times Diesel's current carry capacity. It was something ludicrous like that.
They are at least. Hold on, I'm actually getting ChatGPT to help me get the estimation here.
We
They are at
definitely
least
had this
1,000
conversation
pounds.
before. No, we've had
But
this
it's only
conversation
1,000
twice.
pounds? No way.
It was at least. I think it was more than that. Let me say the exact amount again.
It's like a 10-foot tall hunk of stone.
Oh my god. What is that wizard ritual spell that makes a floating disc? How much does that hold?
Floating disc. I
500
think it only holds like
pounds.
500.
Okay.
Sorry, 4,000 pounds. My bad. This is a
Oh.
much better estimation. Roland's a heavy lad. It's a wonder they don't just crush everything they walk on, but you know.
We have to bring him into the desert with us?
I guess.
If I change
'Cause-
my size to gargantuan, I could drag or push him, but not carry him.
We
What-
we could also shrink him down with the ring.
Golems have immutable form.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
can
Diesel
he
is
just like stop?
relatively.
Stopping
He's-
immutable.
Diesel.
Yeah.
Wait, what does it take to drag? It's half their carry capacity? Or wait,
You can only carry it if it's half. If it's drag is, I can't remember. But you can just put in carrying capacity calculator 5e, and there is a calculator on Google.
Let's see. Because I'm unsure what Diesel's carry capacity is with the size increases.
So, Golem has been in the moving sandstorm, correct?
Quite a long time ago, I believe, was the implication. It's possible that he's not familiar with the purple worms at all. That might be a recent thing.
Oh. Yeah, I actually think Diesel and Jojiro working together might be able to carry him. Or at least lift him for a short period of time.
It might be difficult for us to be mounted while doing that.
Yeah, I
Poor
mean,
lads
there's
literally just get like crushed.
yeah, there are many, many, many other difficulties here, but it's technically possible, I think.
I mean, it's possible we're at a point where we could just fight purple worms, but
What's the highest CR that you can summon with Fine Greater Steed? Is it 2?
I think so.
Yes,
Sounds about right.
I think so. That's about right.
Because the Quets, I believe. Wait, what size is Golem? Oh, Golem's huge, right?
Yeah.
No, Golem is large.
I mean, it's large.
A huge beast
Probably
could
for the best.
technically carry him.
Huh?
Which beast has 4,000 pounds of carrying capacity?
Yeah, wait,
I
hang
don't
on.
know.
That would that would require like 30 plus strength.
What if we
Yeah,
just
like-
got 2?
Like even at a gargantuan and 18 strength, I couldn't actually carry him.
Wait, is you said you have 18 strength?
Yes.
Yeah, because if Diesel was one size larger, he could carry him. But I don't think I can get one size larger.
I mean, as soon as you hit 20 by 20, like, you don't get any more increases, right? Because that's technically gargantuan and up is everything from there.
I think so, yeah.
Unless Aqua's decides that's silly.
Yeah, if we get two of these
It's
creatures, we can carry them.
Because if it's a matter of, like, I could get bigger than that if I wanted to.
I don't think it would double if you just for subsequent size increase though. I think it'd be like closer to, it seems dumb that like at the point where like 4x4 then going to 5x5 doubles your carrying capacity. That's silly. Probably
So
whatever
if
seems
we get
reasonable.
3 of these, we can carry him.
Get 3 of what?
3 of these huge beasts.
I mean, I've got a feeling the worms won't even detect him. And if they do, can't he just, like, remain still, like what when Jojira became a ball when we got murked last time? If he just, like, stops moving, they'll leave.
They also probably wouldn't find him appetizing at all. And if they did fucking eat him, we can just murder the worm and get him back.
Yeah, I think, I honestly think we're fine. As long as we're flying. Yeah.
So do we want to go sandstorm hunting, or do we want to go Brax hunting? I mean, we actually haven't talked to the Oracle over here at all, though, which could have an impact on our future plans.
Wait, what Oracle?
Crinkle, the Kinku over here.
Yeah, someone should talk to her.
Oh. Okay, let's go talk to them.
Did we get any paint that wasn't red from the hags?
I don't believe so.
Fuck. God damn it. This is what happens when you leave Team Red to get the paint. The worst.
Wait. Say that again?
This is what happens when we leave Team Red to get the paint from the hags.
Wait, but we have the paint, I thought. Did I misunderstand what you're saying?
Their problem is that you only got red paint. They would have liked more variety.
Oh, it's the maroon ship. Come on, it's maroon paint.
Alright, I'm going to while the party is doing relevant things, I am going to speak to every NPC I can to see if they have any white paint or know how to make white paint.
I'm actually gonna go through the water this way, just because that's more me.
Please don't make me RP this because I'm currently dying.
Who wants to talk to the Oracle? Sin?
What?
You want to talk to the Oracle lady?
Okay, what do we know about this person?
They're a bit kooky and they can be grumpy. I think that was basically the gist of it. And they can also see the future, and that's why because they're useful, that they can stay here as long as they want, basically, free of charge.
I see. Do they appear alarmed when I approach? I'm not trying to approach stealthily,
no.
I'm just full view.
No, they just seem to be sweeping the sand off of their porch, except more sand just kind of trickles in, so it's like an endless sweeping task.
Oh, nice.
Just sweeping the sand.
Waves and watches patiently until Crinkle looks up.
Why you gotta be so noisy with your eyes?
What do I have? I don't have anything that can help. Sin just signs. Sorry, my name is Sin. Is it okay if I ask you some questions? I'm new here.
Yeah. Hello. You must be moved in recently. Also, let me
somewhat.
take a seat. They take a seat,
Okay.
just as they said they would.
Holy
I have some
shit.
rations in my bed. I'm assuming
Oh,
something
it's
somewhat
okay.
tasty. I take it out
It's
and I offer
okay.
it to her anyway.
I appreciate it. I'll hold on to these for a different time. I already kind of ate because I knew that I'd get food right now and I didn't want to eat right now.
Oh, you can see the future.
Occasionally, it comes. It's like a little waves at a time. I like sweeping around. It keeps me present in the moment, so it doesn't get too overwhelming. You, there is so much sand in your future. You need a broom.
That's pretty amazing. So you basically knew I was coming.
To an extent. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's happened, what will happen, what's happening. Like, is this right now? Are we in the future right now? I think we might or be in the future. Or perhaps this has already happened. Now my memory gets
creatures-
foggy sometimes.
You creatures out of paintings are so interesting and different.
This desert. It's kind of like a painting sometimes. You look out into that sunset. It helps keep me focused on where I am right now. The main thing. You're not staying here for long, which is good. You would bring doom to us all if you did.
That's unfortunate. Then we'll ask, do you like to draw?
I find that it's a little bit tough. I have trouble remembering which parts of the painting I already did. So things get kind of garbled.
Sin will take out a canvas and some ink. I'm assuming you guys like explained to him like what the skull area looks like and stuff like that. And can electrocution basically like send pictures through the link?
We can basically send mental screenshots as
Yeah, right.
by precedent before with telepathic.
Sin's gonna draw the skull area with the ink in their hands, I guess. They don't need extra ink. And
That's a pretty good drawing. That look at nice sketch. You did that pretty fast.
do you recognize this place?
Maybe not personally, but I recognize it all the same, even though I've never been there.
Can you tell me about it?
Out in the desert, creatures of unimaginable size. Sometimes they're out there, and just like all of us, eventually they die. And when they do, their remains later buried on the sand, only for those that are brave enough to stay up there. Sometimes they become home for others, and sometimes they become places for others to look into.
Do you know
I'm not.
of anything else that lies out there? Not creatures, maybe, but like relics of the past?
Relics of the past. I. Have you already done it? Have you already visited the city? I feel
Ahuda?
No, not there. That's somewhere else.
Which city are you
Wait,
talking about?
have you been on the train recently? Oh, I'm having trouble with organizing my thoughts right now. They kind of just switched their broom at you.
Sin coughs as the sand.
I will note
Picks up.
that the scorpion folk said that when they start doing that, you should leave.
I should
When they
quickly
start-
what?
When they start doing the broom thing at you, you should leave, according to the
Oh.
scorpion folk.
Oh, okay.
It was nice to see you, but I need to get back to sweeping. There's so much sand left on here.
Okay, well, it was good to meet you.
You as well, Sin. You as well.
That was
You have never told them your
slightly
name.
creepy. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about
I
to
was
say I didn't give them their name.
name.
They started.
Wait, actually, no,
by
I did.
introducing themselves.
I introduced myself.
Oh, yeah, you did. Never mind.
Oh.
You see them kind of humming and smiling to themselves as they continue. They actually look a little bit happier after that conversation as they're sweeping.
Wait, I go back to them and give them the picture of that skull area. Here, why don't you finish the drawing?
Oh, I don't think I'm capable of that, but I'll at least hang this up somewhere.
Alright. Well, I didn't get anything from that, unfortunately. So, I just like see Jojira like swimming in the canal and with their head bobbing up and down,
I mean, it's not
Yes.
very deep. Right
looking
there.
left and right.
It's like the equivalent of pacing, I guess.
Like a lurking crocodile.
What you doing?
Meanwhile, Ray, you meet the knitting club again, and as you are asking them about white paint, by the way, this quarter's much better than the tents for this knitting club. They have like proper tables. They have yarn up on the wall, right? It seems like a very jovial place, and they even have cookies and tea. As they about the white paint. I didn't bring any paint with me. But I got this. They show you a white quilt.
That's not really what I'm after. I'm looking for either white paint or anything to make white paint. Do you have any? Do you know of anyone who has any? Anyone here at all? Anywhere in this entire area?
I didn't move in with it. I mean, I just didn't see any reason to. I got this. One of them shows you a red quilt.
Incredible.
Well, unfortunately, our friend who actually does knitting isn't here, so alas. I'll tell them to stop by at some time, though. Anyway, I need to go find paint. Bye.
They seem nice. Inside of as you knock open the door on this place. Hold on, sorry, 1 second. You feel like as you're approaching, you hear the sound of crashing like furniture and laughter within, along with a big gruff voice from the interior.
Ray knocks on the door repeatedly and very quickly.
Do you tell everyone that you're gonna go look for white paint?
I think I mentioned it.
Yeah. Well,
If I'm proficient in painter's tools, do I know how to make white paint?
Yes, presumably you would know how to make the white paint. I don't know how to make white paint. Let's see. Let's find out.
you wouldn't be able to mix the white paint. I'm just saying. You'd have to make it from like paint from scratch.
Yeah.
I guess
Let's
like
see.
I'd be able to tell Ray like what materials she needs.
Yeah, I mean, I also have painter's proficiency, and I mean, I have painter's tools with me, so I don't exactly know what's. I'm not sure know what's in there. Let me see.
Okay, so apparently you would need some finely ground limestone, some kind of binder that holds it all together, like egg yolk or linseed oil. Then some kind of filler like talc or gypsum. Then some finally some water to kind of get it all nice and consistent, and you mix it all up.
Aqua, the painter's supplies does say it comes with paints. I don't know if that's
Presumably, yes, you have some white paint.
Yeah,
I'm
some,
not
but
sure
not
if it's
enough.
to the extent, yeah, for
You're right, right.
what Ray is aiming for.
I mean,
I
the
mean,
boat
it
is
is
tiny right
yeah,
now, so
it
you
is
need a
now
lot less.
small model. I 100%
That
buy
is
that paint in a
true.
painter's tools.
You knock on the door and you see this big ogre kind of just answer it. Hello. Are you new in the neighborhood? You look at their head and they appear to be wearing a headband of intellect.
Hey, I've never heard that one before.
What's your name?
Sorry. Hey, cut it out! As they say to the inside, as you hear some more laughing. Sorry. I'm Little One. At least that's what they call me around here.
Oh.
See,
Huh.
that's more suited a name to me, not you. But
Well, it's all I remember, so it's okay.
do you have
are
any
you
white
new?
paint?
Hey kids, do any of you have white paint? One of the kids gives them some glue, and they hand it over. I'm sorry, this is all I have.
Thank you.
You as well, have a good day.
I'll tell the party, obviously, that Little One's there. Well, I need white paint.
Yeah. If that's, I mean, I can help with that, yeah.
Cool. Then, in like a small pot or something, I'd like to combine some glue, some white paint, and some magic hag red paint to make slightly sticky pink white hag paint.
Why do you need glue?
Because it's funny.
Fair enough.
The paint is ever so slightly less red, not quite pink, with the amount of comparative to the fairly sizable amount of
I mean,
red
if they
paint in
took
there.
out a small amount of the red paint, it could be a less sizable, so it would be a better
It's true.
ratio.
You could get a small amount of pink paint that way.
Yeah, like the intent is to get pink paint to paint the ship, which is a very small model.
Ah, I see. Then yes, you would have a sufficient amount as you have this tiny ship, and you get just a pinkish amount, and you start painting the little ship on there. It's a pinkish maroonish.
Maroon?
How is it maroon? Hello? What?
It's a pinkish maroon. Pinkish.
Huh.
It's pinkish maroon.
Huh.
Either
Pink.
way, that'll probably take the rest of my time here while everyone's doing perhaps more important things.
It seems
Shall
the
we
party
head
may.
off
Yes,
to the
I was just
sandstorm?
actually mentioning. Yes, everyone is gathered up as they decide on their next plan, and still they've avoided interacting with the Tinkali because they got stood up.
I was gonna say, do we do we not want to see what the merchants have?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can look.
But I mean, are they going to get mad that we stole the boat?
Don't worry. Don't worry
Was
about
it
it.
really their boat? I mean, like, it just kind of looked like a wreck.
No,
Right?
he told me that they respect this boat.
They can't
Ah.
prove anything. I just have a small pink ship here that looks nothing.
Alright, why didn't we wait to steal it until you were about to like leave?
Planning has apparently not been a forte of this group.
I was not aware that this boat is something that was valued by the residents.
Yeah, so I think we should just book it.
Ray
Unless
will
you
just
really wanna. Oh, God.
Aqua,
Yes.
I have a question about the second bullet point of this feat. It says you can speak telepathically to any creature you know that is within a certain number of feet of you. Does that mean, like, if you speculate they might be in range, it doesn't work? You have to actually know they're in range? Or is it just any creature
the
that you are
line
familiar with?
the line between knowing someone is there and thinking you know they're there is very thin. You know, it's just a matter of confidence, really.
Because, like, I was just wondering if I could attempt to basically just do telepathic things outwards and see if I could hit Brax, maybe.
How
But I'm not-
confident are you? It's a matter of confidence, Jajira. How confident are you that Brax is right there behind this rock?
Alright,
Does Jojira have the
Sin
gumption,
looks
the
around.
sincerity?
Is there any evidence that just some giant Brack-sized creature has been in the vicinity?
You direct your focus, Jajira. You're like, yes, right there behind that rock. I'm sure of it. There's no response. The rock doesn't understand you. It's just a conveniently Brack-shaped rock.
Rex.
It just makes me think of the conveniently shaped lamp in Undertale.
Yeah, that's classic. I know which lamp you're talking about.
Indeed.
So, given that I guess we are leaving, given the whole boat theft. But where is the next location we're headed? I'm guessing is the thing I'm asking.
sandstorm.
Yeah, I'm down with the sandstorm.
There it is, so.
Yeah, it does seem like Sandstorm is the next logical step. I mean, we have the golem who's, like, makes sense, right?
I fly up with Alkid. Where's the sandstorm?
Looking at where it is, it looks like it's a solid about maybe. If you were walking there and it wasn't moving, it would probably take you about 4 days to get to it from the north. Sorry, I'm trying to remember where it is. To the sort of northwestish. Yeah, it's a northwestish area right now.
Oh, we get started. Well, can we technically teleport to a location we can see?
I mean, that depends on many things. For example, Aqua has ruled that like mental screenshots of things through telepathic do not count as us actually seeing something. So I would need some means of seeing it.
Yeah, but if like you're like literally just staring at the sandstorm, you could teleport to it, right?
I don't have the teleport spell. I have.
No, I mean like
transport
Ray. Ray does, right?
How far away is it?
4 days, but we
yeah,
can
4 days
see
if
it.
you had walked and it wasn't moving.
We can see it from where we are.
Can we not like strike a deal with the Tinkali to give us a ride?
I don't know if they're gonna want to run at a sandstorm. And also, they currently already have like a deal going on with Tashluda, so they might want to be present in the area for when Tashluda's people show up.
I mean, we only need like 3 of them, I think. Or if even less if it's just the number of us. Although I guess they can't carry Golem.
Oh yeah, Golem. He's kind of important. I mean, someone here theorized that the sandstorm was following us. Perhaps if we walked at it, it would respond in kind.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyways, we should-
I don't think we're in a major rush.
I mean, we might be, depending on how quickly they notice the boat missing. So we should probably talk about this.
Well, let's
Not-
just start walking. It's this boat here is awfully big, and it's very easy to notice that it's gone missing. So
It seems that the group is sort of at least intent on not being here any longer. So,
Yeah, I feel like it makes sense.
with a boat in hand, quite literally, the group exits out into the desert, away from Wreckage Point.
Good work, gang.
We did it, Patrick. We saved the city.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to give us cloud cover.
Sin appreciates not drying out.
It's been a while since we actually trekked through the desert.
Yep.
I was still playing my first character back then.
Give me a second. Okay, there we go. I was just double checking. All right. Just double checking. All right. So are you just walking directly toward the sandstorm?
Did anyone have a better idea?
Seems like it.
Morale is full of great idea. Let's go to a sandstorm. And die.
Yeah, I mean, sure, makes sense to me.
I don't think
Alright.
Aqua probably expected almost anything that we did this session.
No, actually. I had a lot of preparations already. Okay.
It's like
You begin a
you can't just offer us a tantalizing magic infused boat and then think we're not gonna try and take it. Hello?
You go ahead and begin making your way toward the sandstorm directly, maneuvering your direction over today. Give me a second. You are making your way over, and by the first day, the sandstorm has noticeably approached you at an accelerating rate. So it appears that the speculation may have been.
I fucking
accurate
called
in
it.
this
This
case.
fucking sandstorm is malevolent. There's a stupid telepath mummy that's going, hey, go fuck 'em. And the
So
worst
true.
part about it is I can't even kill a mummy.
How do we
Otherwise-
know that Mummy is a telepath?
I mean, how do we know it's a mummy? Like, I'm just assuming things, you know?
What if it's what's their face? They're trying to kill us.
What, Valor?
How far away would you
The
say
mummy
it
rock
is right now?
person.
How far away would you say the sandstorm is right now?
Oh, we're right on it. Let's go.
I cast Long Stride up before it comes.
Essentially, like once it gets
Um,
within 3 miles, I do want to start trying to learn.
Sorry, that's a little bit too dense.
I
So far, that is.
thought he was supposed to like stop that, like our Mr. Golem.
Hold on, you're not even in the sandstorm itself. You're just kind of like on the outskirts of it lightly.
Like, I do want to try to detect celestials, fae, fiends, elemental, and undead, and influence from other planes of existence once we get within 3 miles of it.
Okay. As you're approaching over to the area where the sandstorm is, you do in fact see that Golem, for their part, they kind of look forward suddenly, stomp their foot onto the ground, and all around them a massive sort of wind aura begins to manifest that is repelling the sand within about 30 feet of where Golem is.
Earth and air is an
Convenient.
unusual combination. You said
They
30
look
feet?
quite stalwart, looking forward.
Resolute. But you said 30 feet is the size of this wind aura?
Yes.
Okay. Did I detect anything?
That's it.
You okay?
Aqua's dying.
Basically,
Dead.
the last 3 bullet points is what I'm gonna go for.
There is a building at the center.
I'm
In
going
fact,
to.
actually, with buildings, there is a city at the center.
I want to learn more about these buildings. It's like I can learn knowledge about these things. Like, are these buildings floating? Are they?
This might be the city Crinkle was talking about.
It's possible. Oh, is there any like plants in this city?
No, but there um as for what, not floating, hovering.
Is there much of a distinction?
Sort of. But old, ancient really is the closest thing that you're able, most predominantly what for you glean from your communion with nature here. And of course, the other animals that, oh, no, you said the last 3.
Yeah, 3. I mean, we already know about the purple worms.
Okay.
Oh, the file on the sandstorm. Didn't it mention like a really big fucking worm? I can search for that with another casting.
Let me see. The file that we found at the school.
The file I found on my office
Oh.
mentioned like it had like reports of like eyewitnesses who apparently saw a really, really, really big, like bigger than the purple worms much. So like I want to try detecting that. I think that counts as a prevalent animal, perhaps.
Okay.
Have you
You
considered not
glean
dying?
information by communing with the sandstorm. You just see Drajira sort of enter like a little bit of a trance as the wind from Golem prevents the sand from sticking onto them, and they commune and gain knowledge about Eremarch, the unfathomable.
What's that name? Eremarch?
As you're communing, you learn 3 facts, right? is there any particular fact you want to learn now that you got their name? You just kind of gleaned the name of what of the very large sandworm.
Uh,
Of each cast of Communal of Nature, you can glean more information of your choice.
current
Because you can
location.
choose the 3 facts you want to learn.
I don't suppose its motivation could be one. Current inclination?
Preventing passage.
I'm going to ask Golem, how is one supposed to reach the city within?
They kind of like mime their feet like they're just walking as if they don't understand your question.
I'm going to tell him that I can sense the city and it's hovering in the air. Does that sound familiar to him?
They think. You can kind of do like a little thinking position. And they kind of like, put their fist into their hand as if like saying, "Got it," right? And then they're trying to draw something into the sand to communicate something, but it keeps getting drowned out by the sandstorm.
Wasn't his wind stopping that's wind?
Is what it would say if it wasn't their own wind stopping the sandstorm from preventing them from doing this. Isn't that really convenient?
I give him some paper. He can do that. He can use ink and draw.
I mean, is it not actually, or is it actually?
Oh,
Labeling,
do
they mark that this is sand, and they mark an arrow up.
Climb the sand?
And they give you a nod.
And I guess we climb the sand.
I guess so.
Let's go!
I'm also going to describe the purple worms and ask how it intends to bypass those.
It kind of looks at you like it doesn't understand.
Does it understand? Does it familiar with the concept of the purple worm, the creature?
It shakes its head no.
I mean, I've got nature proficiency. I can describe it.
Sorry, I didn't realize I didn't put myself on the map.
Yeah, they kind of like go into a thinking posture and start like considering. They sort of mime like a punching motion at them, and then sort of quizzically looking at you like you're getting from your insight. Can you kill them, or can you stop them? Can you fight them? Is sort of what they're kind of miming.
I'm going to commune with nature real quick. Exactly how many purple worms can I sense in the nearby, like 3-mile vicinity?
Oh, that's fun. You actually get 2 facts. The first is how many, of which you get within the 3-mile radius here, hundreds.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god.
The second piece of information you glean is that some of these purple worms have Ozimar crystals inside of them.
Oh.
Interesting.
Well, that would explain why he's having. Like that would explain why Valen had such a hard time locking on to some of these. They're moving.
Yeah.
Well, I guess time to go kill some worms.
I mean, I'm going to tell like the golem, like we could destroy like a handful of them, but I will note that apparently there are hundreds of them there in the sandstorms, winds, and sand.
They draw the following expression into the ground. Their face can't change, right? Their face never changes, so they just write.
Win the bomb. Where's that scientist guy? Or the astronaut dude? Make
It looks like an exclamation mark.
So perhaps our goal this time shouldn't be. I think there's two separate goals here. One, retrieve some Azumar crystals, and two, reach the city. I think reach the city might be a bit beyond us right now, and we should try that again when we have a way to bypass the worms.
I mean, can't we just fly?
I mean, it's really hard to bring Golem with us for that. Unless... the fly spell, maybe? Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows that, though.
Golem listens intently about them going, and they point out one other thing. They point at themselves, and they draw what appears to be like this, and they kind of motion like using a hand gesture because they've been teaching themselves new gestures like and, but, or, right, in conjunctions. They've taught themselves prepositions as well, and this preposition they've taught themselves is through. So I threw, and what appears to be a X on a wall or a door.
I'm a bit clueless as to what that's supposed to intend, but maybe Jodira has a better idea than.
Roll insight, Jadira.
Here comes insight expertise.
Jadira understands immediately. Golem is a key to entry.
So we need him to enter the city. So we do actually need to bring him.
I
think
don't
he
have
himself-
fly, but I have jump.
I think Golem himself isn't in much danger from the worms. So maybe if the rest of us fly
Seconded.
around him, and we
Yeah.
just while he travels on foot. But we don't have a way of doing that just right now, right? I think maybe we just go for a worm and maybe try to skedaddle. Do you have a spell slot ready for teleport, Ray?
I think, yeah, because we rested before I came out.
Because that's the only way we get out quickly and assuredly. Like after we try to kill and loot a purple worm or two. Because there's no plants here for me to bring us out.
This is why we need to have like a potted shrub, or like a bonsai tree or a cacti we just take with us. In fact, that's such a good idea. I'm surprised your character didn't think of it.
It needs to be large sized, the plant.
I see. Then yes, as a reminder, it is Holly who has the spell, not me. So,
But Holly uses your slots.
yeah. My point is Holly is a lot weaker than most of the party, so we may have.
I mean, Holly can stay flying in the air and avoid detection, right? As long as it's a bit away from us.
Yeah, more or less.
But unless
Hang on, I have a question. The silence spell? It technically also silences, quote unquote, vibrations, right?
it also
I
makes
mean-
things immune to thunder damage, which is like vibrations and the like. I think that would actually trump Tremor Sense.
Note that
Yeah,
silence doesn't move.
That would, huh? No, I'm
Silence
just saying,
doesn't
like,
move.
it's just for if we were fighting the worms.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was just curious. Like, if you had tremor sense, you wouldn't be able to sense anyone in the sphere of silence, right?
I think that heavily depends on interpretation because, like, shaking is not necessarily sound.
I think sound is just vibrating particles,
Yeah.
which is shaking.
Right, but not being able to hear does not mean you can't sense shaking. If you were deaf and someone, like, and someone, was moving an object that you're standing on and you have tremor sense, I feel like you would still be able
Is
to...
Is
It
the
really depends on how
spell
you
saying
interpret
that
it.
it just straight up like stops whatever like the vibrations moving through the air are, or it's still going through, but it's just that nothing inside can detect it?
No sound can be created within or pass through.
Can we create? Yeah, so no vibrations can be created.
I think it's more like the vibrations don't create sound.
But
Oh,
sound
that's
is
the
vibrations. That's my question.
Yeah, there's still vibrations. They just don't make sound. Like you could still ring a bell, right? It's not like the bell suddenly wouldn't move. It just wouldn't create any sound, but it'd still be like vibrating back and forth.
Is that the plan then? We fight a few worms, loot them, teleport out?
Or I'm assuming we're gonna target the ones with Azamar crystals.
Yeah, I could actually sense which ones to have them inside, right? If I could sense them before.
I
You
might have missed
will know
something.
that they're around.
Why can't we just go to this city that we're looking?
Because there are hundreds of worms between it and us.
Yeah.
And as is, I don't believe we can fight our way through hundreds of worms.
Yeah, but if we're flying, how would they get us?
How are we going to be flying?
Uh,
How long does the fly spell last? Does anyone have gaseous form? Or can anyone get gaseous form?
how many people can Holly carry if they're 2 sizes larger?
Holly is normally medium, right?
Yes.
You could probably carry like 2 or 3 based on their strength, I think.
So Sin can fly, right?
Yeah, I have my mount.
Okay, so Sin can fly. I can fly. Then Holly could probably carry the other 3 non-flyers.
You mean the ones that are huge?
I mean, like,
I mean, we don't. I mean, we think the golem would be safe from the worms because they would just see it as rock.
Yeah, but I was talking about you and Diesel. You guys had to shrink down quite a bit, right?
I mean,
I
I'm
think you're.
medium right now,
Aren't you like super heavy by default?
about 500 pounds. So I'm like pretty heavy for a medium humanoid. Yeah, not super heavy.
I mean, if the carrying capacity gets like quite heightened by increasing size, I'm sure that we'd have enough space.
I do think that right now we are trying to attract some attention towards us just so that we can try to loot Azumar crystals. I can't use more specific questionings of commune with nature to figure out which ones, like once they're closer.
Yeah. Every 10 minutes, that is, you can. So as long as they don't impact you within, the 10-minute window.
Why is there a 10-minute window?
Well, it's a ritual, right?
I'm casting it as a spell, not as a ritual.
Oh, okay. Then 1-minute window.
I'm casting it as an action because of a feature I have.
Well, not a 1-minute window.
But yeah.
Okay. You wait to see if there's information about that as you kind of, or are you moving into the sensor? Or just waiting in place as it approaches you instead.
It might be, if we just stand there, don't move, we won't run into any worms, and technically the city comes to us.
I mean, that is a possibility.
Oh yeah, maybe that could work, because last time we had a problem where the winds pushed us around and made us like tumbleweeds, which attracted the worms, but if we've got Golem, maybe we'll be fine.
But, right, if we stayed still, like even without the whole silence thing, like we shouldn't detect us. Like if we can manage to stay still, which I think we can, especially with Golem canceling out the winds.
Yeah, exactly.
There is a possibility that they could inadvertently run into us if we're invisible, but
But they just like they stay underground until like they don't travel on the surface, right? They tunnel.
for some reason I was imagining them like leapfrogging in and out of the sand as they traveled.
That seems like a horrible way of conserving energy through movement. Given that they
I
can
think
just
also
burrow.
it depends, because some portrayals of worms do have them do that, but a lot of them, they're designed to stay in the ground until they're ready to strike.
I was
It
just
really depends
thinking
on the
of
betrayal of worm.
Last Train Out of Wormtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they do, is that they basically do.
Yeah, I played the game.
Well, do we want to hunker down and see if we can get to the city in the center then?
I suppose.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
try it.
I mean,
At
I
least
also
this
kind of
time.
do want an Alzmar crystal as well, but
I mean, they
I'm all
do
for
give
going
us,
to the city. I think we've
like, the
got the
Azumar
tools.
crystals do give us power, like, just having them.
Yeah, so I think farm a few crystals, head to the city. That's my vote / plan.
I don't. Well, the thing is if we start fighting the worms, we're gonna attract more of them. So we have to get out. We can't go to this. We won't be able to make it to the city.
We're assuming it's headed dead on, though. Like, we'll only get to the city if the center of it is on a path for us, rather than just around the sandstorm around the city.
I feel like it's a relatively safe assumption that the city is going to eventually get close to us, since the sandstorm is following us.
I mean, that just seems like bad design on part of
I mean,
whoever.
I don't know why the sandstorm is following us in the first place. Like maybe it wants us to go to the city. So I mean, it won't hurt if we just hunker down and see what's happening, and then if we can't get close to the city, then we can fight worms and then teleport out.
Okay, I guess hunker down seems like a good option then.
yeah, I'm cool
All
with
right. All right. You hunker. Holding your position, right, and simply waiting. You bide your time as the storm begins to intensify, moving around you to the point where you can't see, but basically beyond what Golem's windshield is providing. Hold on, give me a second.
I will basically close my eyes and basically try to keep track of things beyond it with my blind sight, what little I can.
They have tremor sense and blind sight.
it. We actually have quite a few blind sights.
All right, you like are there in the center of this wind, it's sort of a wind bubble now as the sandstorm rages around in every direction around you. It's so intense. The winds around look like they are blowing almost at like a hurricane level of wind in every which direction. You can hear it whistling and all around, and through it you feel like you hear the sounds of sand moving in the distance, but you can't see it. Hold on, sorry, I was just adjusting something. Through your blind sight, you right beyond the gravitas, the form of a purple worm just like maneuvering its way beyond you, diving up above the surface and then diving back down, go by, but it doesn't seem to react to your presence otherwise.
Now we know they favor the in and out approach.
I want to contact the worm to tell it to stop moving stupidly. Unfortunately, I don't really have any way of contacting them, so
Is it a beast
Yeah, I don't think
or
they
a
understand.
monstrosity?
Monstrosity, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they understand any languages, so I couldn't telepathically tell them that if I wanted to.
You're stupid! Just yell it across the sandstorm.
The position of where you are relative to the sandstorm itself is pretty much impossible to discern from where exactly you are in it, because you can't see how and what way it's moving from an outside perspective. But eventually things seem to quiet down around the around where the purple worms around you are. And then Growl, you feel it. The
Me?
key. There is
Oh.
a very large heartbeat that you are sensing below the surface.
Below the surface.
I'm scared.
The form of which this creature is so large, it's hard to get a good summation of its form outside of its relative size right there.
Oh.
And it kind of looks like it is looking above the ground, like looking around, because there is an actual eye on it.
oh boy, it can. We're rumble.
Oh, my mommy.
I cast Longstrider.
Yeah, I'm hiding in my umbraturgy.
I cast invisibility.
How big is Umbraturgy?
It is that smoky circle around me all the time.
So, not that helpful.
However
is what I'm
big that
hearing.
is, yeah, I don't remember how big it is.
Looks like 5 feet.
It's like 10 feet. I think it's 10 feet.
This is a massive worm, which, for comparison, is like at least twice as big as all the other purple worms that you've seen. It's looking around, scanning the area with its eye, and then it sees that there is this empty spot where the sandstorm is not permeating. Instead of immediately diving at you, it actually somewhat burrows down as another one rises up over here.
Oh.
And you can sense that there's a third one, each with its own individual heartbeat.
Where's the city?
Do any of these have an Azumar crystal?
Sorry, let me just check something. No, but there is one incredibly large crystal that you are seeing, because nearby, right nearby where these these giant sandworms are rising, it's so intense the ground beneath you is beginning to give way from where it's flat. From beyond your blind sight, you see this.
Lord. It's like
Ooh.
pressure more.
And you now see that each of these giant sandworms that you see, these white ones, are simply tendrils of its main form.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh.
fantabulous.
Oh, that's nice.
It is
XD.
a very clearly noticed your position.
Is it-
Did we have a way out?
we
Teleport.
do.
We not fighting?
We could try.
Very good point.
I have very.
How do
high-
our characters feel about this battle, Mr. DM?
Yeah. How terrifying does this thing look?
I mean,
On a scale of 1 to a D,
let-
natural 20.
Let me put it this way, in a way that you can understand, Sin. Its mouth, if it were to dive down, would be at least as big as its map, if not more.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was feeling like we probably couldn't take 5 purple worms. No, I don't think we can take one of this.
Huh.
So I
So,
think escape
how close
is our
is the
only
city?
option.
You can't see beyond the sandstorm,
Wait,
and you don't know
I thought
exactly its
Jojira had
position.
commune with nature.
I mean, I still have questions. Like, presumably from my last cast I just did, so I could ask how far away the city is.
Where's the city at?
The city? It's I'm trying to think about what this would be. Sorry, I need to get a size estimation real quick. Whenever it comes to things like this, I ask ChatGPT for frames of reference.
Really? I didn't know you did that, Aqua. That's news to me.
Wow.
It is funny to me. Like there's this giant word appears, and we're like, "Hey,
I'm
Jojira,
sorry, I don't know how
power?
big a normal sandstorm generally is.
Did ChatGPT just say that?
You're pretty sure that the city is about 10 miles away.
Oh,
We're getting out.
that's far.
Do you still prepare legend lore, Ray?
I do not have that currently prepared.
Well, now that we have a name, Eremarch the Unfathomable, that could be something you theoretically use it for. But I do think that the go-to play right now is teleport.
Where?
Out.
Just out.
I mean,
You're
the depot is what I had in mind, but
Yeah, we can go back to the depot. What's the
You,
plan after this? We run, but we still have to.
I mean, we
I
should
guess we fly. We come back
leave-
flying.
I think leave before we make plans.
Yeah, you consider the plans as you feel the ground in every direction, every which way beginning to rumble underneath your feet.
What about the
You
place we
feel
fought
like there
Brax
are
first?
teeth beginning to rise up above the sand.
Yeah,
Ray,
what about the
cast
place we fought
teleport.
Brax first?
What?
The skull? We can go to the skull
Yeah.
place.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, I'm down to go there.
I will note that I don't think we have a way back after that.
Yeah, what if it just follows us to the skull?
I
Like
mean,
right
what if
away?
it follows us to the depot? There's nothing stopping it. So
Really? No. Safe space. Safe
Ray
space.
just cast teleport already.
let's just go to the skull place.
Thing is, if we go to the skull place, we then can't the way back to like a fast way to the depot, do it? If we need to end the
No.
chapter?
Not that I know of.
We walk.
We honestly
You guys
just
are
cast
actually
it.
like out of spell slots.
Well, I've
It's-
only got
it-
one 7th level spell slot for teleport.
And Wiz, you are too. You can't cast plant.
I
teleport?
need a large plant at my start and end points
Hmm.
for the spell.
Hmm.
So yeah, just cast. I don't care where we go right now, as long as it's cast before anything happens.
Flip a coin.
Up to
Oh,
you,
we
Ray.
do the Carol 1 and 2.
That's true. Okay, we're here.
All right.
Ray, he's drawing teeth.
Ray's
I'm
dead.
Doing it. I'm doing it. Relax.
But where to?
You put this
Uh,
on.
the original Brax fight location.
All right. Before too much more of its vestige appears above the surface of the sand, you are out of there as you find yourself completely elsewhere. Give me a moment. I had to toggle navigation on it so I could actually see it in my things.
Well, the end game of this book is definitely in that city.
Excuse me, there's still a worm on the lower right.
Excuse me a moment, please.
You're right. Did you just suddenly get very sick in the last 2 hours?
I stopped using my cough drops because I'm trying. They're kind of annoying to buy. You know, it's like $1 per day if you eat too many of them at a time. So it's like
Oh.
you feel me? You get it?
Well, you know what you have? You have Tylenol.
A
True.
darkness spell wouldn't work next time. It was smart enough to notice a discrepancy in the sandstorm, and it probably would notice the darkness.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want
Wait, who mentioned darkness?
I'm just thinking in terms of ways we could bypass its vision.
It'd probably be flying plus invisibility.
One thing you did notice is that the strength of the sandstorm at that point is so intense that you're not totally sure flight is going to be sustainable.
That's
Even
fair.
within the golem's protective sphere?
Wait, sorry, say that again, Aqua?
At that point in the sandstorm when Eremarch appeared, it's already appearing that the force of the wind is so intense that flying may be unfeasible. As for in the golem sphere, that's a question of can you lift 4,000 pounds among any other potential roadblocks?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. What a
Amazing.
question.
I mean, the fly spell to let it fly itself would work if any of us
Yeah.
fucking knew that spell.
It's a 3rd level spell, right?
Yeah.
You want to lend me 2k? I can get it.
Oh, are you trying to turn it into a ritual spell with your ritual
Yeah.
cast?
Yeah, I can just ritual cast it on him.
If you were seated on him, you could also keep it up if it takes longer than an hour.
Yeah. Wait, is it 10 minutes or an hour?
I think it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I just have to keep casting it on him.
There might be like a 6-second window where he doesn't have a fly speed each time.
He just like falls.
Okay, well, now that we're here, do we see our good old buddy Braxton? Braxton.
You show up and there is no sign of Brax currently.
Are there any signs of digging?
No, there are no signs of digging currently. However, you do recall that the Ozamar crystals were right here last time, if they were to be dug up, and you do have you're a lot stronger than last time you were here. It would be trivial to dig up the same location.
I mean,
We have those crystals though, right?
I think the idea would be is that they would not be there because we have them.
Yeah.
Speaking, I can use my new neat little trick, however. Aqua, tell me things.
Yes.
Are there Azumar crystals here?
There are no Ozamar crystals here.
Are there
other
any
creatures here?
Are there any hot dinomen here? In
Um,
3-mile radius.
hmm.
I mean, I don't know what
no,
his race is called, so
There's only a giant millipede around the area, and also you can sense the presence of some Twingas.
The little people.
Oh, the Chwingas.
Yes.
basically there's not much to be gained here. Although the directions to Brax's village were from here, right? Theoretically,
Yep.
we could follow those.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
And we can hope there's some plants there.
I give the Twinga some snacks as we pass by.
Oh, at bare minimum, there will be the cactus he mentioned. Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
hopefully large.
A plant.
Yeah.
Really. We're probably going to need to go to a different book once we leave this chapter, because both Ray and I are going to be missing all of our mobility spell slots. So we'll need to go to a different book where we can use our lower level slots before we long rest.
We could also just long rest. I don't think it's that.
I mean, when we long rest, it speeds up the time until we longer rest, which means we're using up
Yeah.
time. And time is important when it comes to the quills problem.
Yeah, this is why you spellcasters are so silly.
Alright.
So, all the way to Hot Dino Town?
No. Fuck hot diet. I want to contest this point. Alright, Marshall characters. How are you gonna get out of that damn big worm situation, huh? Like, taking responses. Court is in session.
Can I just pat Eri on the head?
If we took time out of Legion of Iron to call out Jojira, I'm gonna call out Marshall's right now. Welcome to Kangaroo Court.
Kangaroo court.
Thanks, Judge
I would
Judy.
simply kill it. Easy.
Exactly. Oh, what? Oh, I would just hide. Fine.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's what you do next. You start heading southward per instructions on reaching this village, and as you do, you kind of see sort of just returning back as a giant millipede heading into the eye of the skull.
Why?
Wait, there's a giant millipede right next to us right now?
No. You're like walking away, and you just kind of see it in the distance as you're moving by. You just see it like entering one of the eyes, and then it's
It doesn't have an
kinda-
Azumar crystal.
No, it just seems like it's a giant millipede.
You think it like ate any like magical items that could be of use?
You want to kill it? Is that what you're saying?
Only if it has anything inside its stomach. That's cool.
I mean,
I was just
I
kidding.
kinda-
You can keep walking.
the Chingwas are cool with it. Although if they
Okay.
weren't cool with it, I'm not sure what they could do about it.
And with that consideration about whether or not Twingas are okay with a gigantic millipede living inside this giant skull inside of the middle of this giant desert, there's a lot of giant things here. I think that's a good spot to call it a session for now, as you head out your way to the south toward the village.
Yeah. Woo!
The upside down.
Cool
swirl.
stuff.
We're so good at this exploration shit.
Man.
I'm gonna get a picture of Eremarch.
Yeah, please. I do want the big image.
I can't remember
There we
when I
go.
last took pills.
You're saying that each one of those little tendril things was the size of those big things?
Yes.
Huh.
Kind of reminds me of Black Reliquary.
So what you're saying is these people in the foreground are actually like really, really, really close. Because this thing's like the size of a city.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what's going to happen to those people. They're clearly like dead or something. I don't know.
Well, the guy on top with the cape looks pretty confident, but the person in the middle looks like they're lost.
Yeah, like okay, this is a Doom situation.
I mean, a lot of depictions of worms have it so that they can't actually see anything except through vibrations, so they might be safe there if it weren't an aqua version of it.
Well, look at the giant eyeballs on the side of its head out there. I don't know.
Oh, those are eyes?
That's what
Yeah.
it looks like to me. I would interpret those as eyes.
I mean,
There's 5 of them.
they could be like sacs or glands or I don't know. I ain't
I think
a
eyes is the scariest option, so that's how I've interpreted it, and that's what you saw also.
I'm not exactly a cryptozoologist.
Eremarch. Eremarch? How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, Eremarch.
Eremarch the Unfathomable. I don't know. That seems pretty fathomable to me.
Is the name Eremarch like lifted from from somewhere? It sounds familiar.
No, not as far as I understand.
Wait, what was the name of the dragon turtle?
Aramag.
Aramag.
Okay.
Gamera
I guess it's
backwards.
probably the closest.
Yeah.
It vaguely sounds like Aramag, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Oh, I found it work, Aqua. Don't die.
I'm just thinking- It's possible that there was never is a Azimar crystal at Wreckage Point now because of the change to the timeline.
Yeah.
It's possible that it was on Brax when he traveled there, and he just isn't traveling there because of the differences in terrain now.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, I'm going to start heading off to work. Adios, y'all.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Thank you for session.
Yeah,
That's it.
Jen.
I still need to choose a feat.